What's up, YouTube? Tim over here back at Higgs Garage. Today we got the H2 over here. We got a new Redhead steering box that we need to get installed. So I had one, I put it on and it was off camera. I was kind of bummed that I didn't get to show you guys. And as luck would have it, it was leaking. So Redhead went and sent me another one. And this time I'm going to show you guys the install. Then we get a little bit of this H2 content on there. Once we get this gearbox on there, we can start moving on to the rest of this. We got the bumpers that we need to get grinded down, smoothed out, and we need to get those painted so we can get this front end and rear end back together. We got the frame to clean up and paint. The rear axle needs to be painted. So we got plenty of work to do on this H2 before we get it ready. We got oil pan gasket, torsion, the new torsion keys to raise the front as much as the rear. So we did do the rear lift kit or blocks on the back. So to level that out, we got to put those torsion keys in. So we just got a lot of stuff to do to this H2. So we are going to go ahead and get started with this gearbox. So without further ado, let me throw you guys on the stand, get you guys a good view, and we will throw this in. Sorry guys, it is quite hard to maneuver this without pulling the camera. Alright, so not too much of a how-to, but just kind of showing you the progress on this thing. But what I did was I got my pitman arm aligned on there, went ahead and kind of wiggled it in, and now what I'm doing is, before I tighten it, I'm getting these high pressure line, low pressure line, whatever, power steering lines put into place. Let's see. Once I get them started in there, we're good. And I can go ahead and tighten those down. And looks like one of these lines here, we're going to be tightening it up with an 18. A line wrench would be better, but it's kind of tight, so this W18 is working pretty good. What I'm going to do, go ahead and thread the castle nut on the bottom of this pitman arm. Maybe. There we go. All right, it's on there a little bit. The threads might be buggered up just a little bit, so I might have to work that back and forth, but okay, next thing, reach up in here and get your steering shaft plugged in. All right, everybody, so those other 3 bolts, these are what's holding the pump to the gearbox. I keep saying pump, I apologize. The box to the frame, those are a 21 millimeter. So once you get those started, you know, you're just gonna tighten them all up. right, YouTube. And just like that, we have our new steering box on our H2. So let's go ahead and jump this thing because the battery is dead, and then we'll get this thing running and go ahead and pump all the air out of this line, bleed it. To do that, we're gonna go ahead and jack the front of this up. First thing I'm gonna do though, get it running, then we'll throw the jack under it. Reason you do that, you need to jack up the front to get the weight off this front tires or the front end, and then you'll steer it back and forth to full lock both directions. That way, it'll push all that air out of the system. You just keep adding the fluid until we reach the full mark and get no more air. So let's go ahead and get this thing jump started. So we got the power steering bled. We took it for a little spin, a little muddy out here, but we do have another problem right in here, as you can see, where it's corroded and all of our moisture, we have a hole in a brake line. So the brake lines obviously needed to be replaced. So we will get those done in a future video. But for now, we got that steering box installed. We got the steering box bled. Took it for a little spin, and it is steering and driving great. So next thing you guys will see, probably these brake lines and some work on this bumper so we can get this thing put back together. We got a few things to do in the interior before we get it 100% and finish up our lift kit. So with that being said, make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment below, and we will see you on the next one.